And it's amazing to me how God chose Bethlehem, the place where the Passover lambs were raised for the temple, for him to send the ultimate Passover lamb to be born there. I think that's significant, and I think it's amazing. The very first people to learn about his birth that night were shepherds. Now, you got to understand that in that time and in that place, shepherding was not a romantic, was not viewed as a very nice kind of lifestyle. In fact, shepherds were viewed as at the very bottom of the social rung, the rock bottom. In fact, the only people who were lower than shepherds were women. Shepherds and women were looked down on so much that they could not give testimony in a court of law. Their testimony was considered unreliable. So I think it's interesting that in that culture, with that being their mindset, God allowed shepherds to be the first witnesses of Christ's birth. And he allowed women to be the first witnesses of Christ's resurrection. I think that's interesting. And by the way, these weren't just any shepherds. Notice these were the ones keeping watch over the flocks by what? By night. These were the third shift shepherds. These were the guys who had really drawn the short straws. These were the guys that were on the midnight watch. And when the angels showed up, the Bible says that the shepherds were sore afraid. And you can just imagine them thinking as they're looking at this sky full of angels, it looks like the judgment day coming for them. And you can imagine them thinking, man, oh man, we should have been better shepherds. But then these social outcasts became the first evangelists, spreading around the countryside and telling everyone who would listen about all the things that they had seen and heard that very first Christmas night.